dog tail jack, go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of sing. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and
The Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. AFC Championship. Mafia, mount up!
Yo, here we are, Bills Mafia, on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's 5:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is AFC Championship Day. I am your host, Swank, part of 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. This show is part of the Buff Fan Base Network and sponsored by 26 Shirts. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit. You are watching Sunday Sessions with this elite panel. Going with introductions right down south, right below me, the silkiest, smoothest voice in podcasting today for the Buffalo Bills. That is Mr. Ryan Thomas of the Thomas Takes Sports Podcast. What's up, RT?
What's going on, Swank? What's going on, Scooter? I love the intro. This is a game for the ages. This is a show for the ages. Out of all the shows that us three have done together, I gotta say, I feel like I always feel this way, but the next one is always the one I'm looking forward to the most. But this one, I've been looking forward to this one all week long. It's good to be here. It's good to be with you guys as always. Good to have the 600 plus and counting joining us throughout the night.
Hell yes, RT. I got to do my boy justice right over here. This is my brother, not by blood, but it might as well be by blood. This is my man, the greatest of the great, the Scooters of the Gooters. Scott, what do you got, brother?
Man, we got AFC Championship football time. I'm watching the game over here to my right. Turnovers and bad penalties, guys. That's what it's going to come down to both games. So I'm pumped. I'm stoked. Didn't get much sleep last night. My daughter said today, man, I love how we end a week watching Bills football. Man, this is the first time she said it. Got my heart beating. I'm ready for this game.
Hell yeah,
Proud
man.
moment, proud father moment.
Absolutely. That's what this is all about, right? We were all with our families watching these games back when we were youngsters. Maybe RT was even younger. I don't know. Do you remember any of the 90s championships?
I remember my pajamas. Those were some pretty fire pajamas. I do remember those. They were very comfy. Mom had me all set with the I don't know. I can't remember what they were called. They were the pajama pants that had the shoes on them.
The footies.
Pajamas. Yeah, I was all footied up.
Like the full set.
Yeah, I had a full set top to bottom. Bills helmet. I was running into walls and running into the refrigerator, and it's probably where my first concussion came from. Who knows?
Worth it. Always worth it.
It was worth it.
Guys, you are watching the Buff Fan Base Network's official kickoff pregame show. We're super stoked to be doing this one. Been thinking about it, obviously, all week long. We are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Super proud to be. Please go follow them on all social media. And as a part of that, we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. See what Del Reed and the gang got cooking up. The freshest threads. You'll look good. You'll feel good. You'll root good. And you'll help a Western New York family in need. Up over $2 million so far as to date. So go check them out. We love this show because we get to talk to you guys, get them comments and questions coming in. We got 813 of you already in the first couple minutes here. It's awesome. Share it around, tell your friends. Let's get everybody in here, get them good vibes going. The inactives come out while we're live on this show, and we love discussing that. I've been refreshing Twitter as often as I possibly could because usually by this time they're out, but not yet. So luckily enough, we have so much to talk about. Oh my God. Allen versus Mahomes, Bills versus Chiefs, AFC Championship. I want to go around the panel here. Scooter, I'm coming to you first, brother. What feels different about this time than the last time?
Sometimes it's hard to explain what feels different. It's a gut instinct, all that good stuff. Do I dare say we've been there, done that? It's very familiar to us, and sometimes the more experience you have, the better prepared you're going to be. Yes, we beat the Chiefs already this season. I've said this on the K-Gun Report. Sometimes when you play the team the second time, the other team has the advantage. We didn't do all that great the first game. So there's a lot that we had to change the first game, even though we beat them by 9. I have all the confidence in the world, and our boys are wearing all white, going to look sharp. Nice weather. That's not going to be the great equalizer in this game. I think the Bills have the better roster, and America wants this game to go Buffalo's way. So that may be the feel right there. And funny stat, guys, did you know if the Bills make the Super Bowl, doesn't matter who wins this game right now, they're playing yet another NFC East football team. That'll make 5.
Wild.
5 Super Bowls against NFC East teams.
Wow.
And it's fitting they haven't played the Eagles yet, so it's fitting the Eagles will be probably the team that made it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Great little great little tidbit there. I liked it. It's true. We have played them in the regular season. We know how this story has unfolded in the past. I don't think any of that matters. RT, tell me right now what feels different to you about today than the last time this happened.
Well, 5 years, obviously removed from the last time we played this team in the AFC Championship. I think Josh Allen is a much better player than what he was 5 years ago, and this is a season that I think is his best season that he's had in his career. Another funny history tidbit, the last team that the Bills beat in an AFC Championship, but boom, the Kansas City Chiefs and Joe Montana. That's a history lesson right there. But it's a lot's different. I think Sean McDermott is a more confident coach. He's been through a lot on and off the field with this team, with the DeMar Hamlin situation, his own health as well. I don't think that was really talked about nearly enough. The battles that he was having outside the sideline. And honestly, I think this season has been one that has been storybook. The sequence of teams that they've played, how they've beaten these teams, the 2-week stretch, falling short to the Rams, but then coming back playing Detroit. In Detroit was a huge moment for this team that I think they've been riding that lightning ever since that game, leading them back right here to an AFC title game. They've been so many times so close to getting back to this point, and they're finally back. And it's been a long but yet arduous journey back here. But I feel like it's all been worth it for the team that we're watching each and every Sunday.
100%, man. Well said indeed. There's a lot that goes into this. I think we've been talking all season kind of about how this isn't the same old team. This isn't the same old Bills. The reason I wanted to start off the discussion with this question is because I think a lot of fans can get caught up in that. 1,007 of you right now, by the way. Appreciate you. I think we get in this rut of thinking where it's like, it's the same old Bills. Oh, it's the Chiefs. Oh, it's this. This team does not believe in that. This team was counted out from the very beginning. I agree 100% about Josh Allen and the maturity that he has obtained over the last, his career. But this last year in particular, from last offseason to this offseason, like, it is insane. It is insane, the decisions that he make, the wide eyes, where he thought about tossing it to James Cook. And a younger Josh Allen might have thrown that ball and tried to get that extra touchdown. Instead, he hugged it and held on and beat a really, really, really hard team to beat. McDermott, same way. I think he lets his coaches coach. I think he feels confident. I think he's a mentor and a better decision maker this season than he has been in years past. And I think that's been building to where we are right now. And his work ethic leads to that. I think he leads by example. He practices what he preaches, and that's a lot of why we are where we are. So it feels a lot different to me. I think just the temperature in the locker room. I think listening to the guys talk, there's confidence. There's a Zen-like feeling among the players where they are confident that they can get this done, and they're okay with however it works out because they're mature enough to know they've got another opportunity coming down the road. We're not talking about down the road, though.
You know what's a beautiful thing is that this has been the narrative the whole season. Is Josh Allen lost his receivers, lost this guy. It's on him, but it hasn't been on him. Josh Allen, yes, has been a bull in the China shop, breaking all these records and all that stuff. But he's had a 1,000-yard rusher. He's had the quiet receptions with Hollins and all these guys that have been making a huge difference. It's not just Josh. Everybody wants to say it's just Josh. His surrounding crew guy has been putting up and shutting up, and it's a beautiful thing right now. So let everybody think. Let these teams going in and defending him think it's just Josh, because everyone else on this team can hurt you.
I don't know how you defend this team, and we're going to get into it for sure. Get your questions and comments and takes in on the comments here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Viewership just growing and growing. 1,200 of you right now. Appreciate it so much.
Cheers.
There is so much good that is happening right now. There is so much calm. There is so much excitement. There's just same deal, man. Haven't been able to sleep. Didn't get much sleep last night. Didn't know what to do with my hands all morning today. It's wild, but hand check, dude.
Didn't know what to do with my Ricky Bobby.
Let's get into the meat and taters of this here thing. We are going up against a very well-known opponent to us. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is Travis Kelce. This is Andy Reid. This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. No? Okay. RT, tell me, dude, what does our defense have to do to slow down this Kansas City Chiefs offense today?
Well, because these teams are so commonly, against each other, I read somewhere that Buffalo's played the Chiefs almost as many times these last few years combined as their division. If you were to add, it's almost like the KC Chiefs have been like a fifth divisional game for the Buffalo Bills, if that makes any sense.
Sure,
it kind of does, because years ago we had the Colts in our division, and then the Texans came along, they refigured everything. But it seems like this game is just one that you look at KC's offense. It's about Mahomes keeping him in the pocket, not allowing him to extend plays. I think that's the obvious answer, but I think Mahomes has had a little bit of a down year in comparison to previous years. And a lot of that has to do with his health. A lot of that has to do with the guys around him, a lot of new different pieces. The guy that scares me the most on this offense, I got to tell you guys, is not Pat Mahomes. It's not Travis Kelce. It's not Xavier Worthy. It's Isaiah Pacheco. I think Isaiah Pacheco is a huge key to victory for the Kansas City Chiefs, where Buffalo has shown very few flaws defensively all season long. Where they has been in the run defense, has been in the run game, or dare I say it, even an offense trying to find a way to get their running back the ball in more ways than one, rather than just in between the tackles, getting them out in space. But KC had to rely on Kareem Hunt as well when Pacheco got hurt. Pacheco's back, hasn't really been himself, but each week they're saying, much like Matt Milano, he's getting healthier. So to me, Buffalo stopping the rushing offense of the Chiefs are going to try to slow this game down. They're going to try to force the Bills to play quick and force Josh Allen to have a less time as possible. And I think that'll be the way that they'll attack us originally. And Buffalo's got to be prepared for it defensively. Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, a little bit more of a dual set running back set than what they've had in previous years with Pacheco tilting the rock. But I think Pacheco, the violent runner that he is, can really wear down any defense as long as he is healthy. So to me, stopping the run is a huge equation in this game, especially in the first half.
I like it, man. That is definitely one of my points of contention here. That they need to not let them control the clock like that. We need to do actually the reverse. We need to do that for their offense. Great takes, RT, as usual. Scooter Magoo, my man. What's our defense got to do to slow down old Kermit and his buddies?
It's going along with RT and stopping the run, but it's not necessarily the running backs. Kareem Hunt's actually been getting the workload, and with Pacheco coming in, and he is getting more and more, like RT said. But it's the runs by Mahomes, and granted, he's not running the ball as often as he has in the past, but when he does, he's converting those third downs. He's converting the plays that are keeping that drive alive, extending the play as we will. That's the key. So for me, it's kind of similar to what the Buffalo Bills were able to do with the Lamar Jackson. Even though Lamar Jackson had a great day, he still turned the ball over, threw the ball deep. It was kind of a punt, but that was intercepted by Rapp, and he was forced to fumble the ball. I think we do the same thing, contain the outside, create pressure up the middle, and make Mahomes just contain him and collapse the middle. I think that's all it is. We're going to get the penalties, guys. We've already discussed this on the K-Gun report. You hit Mahomes, there's a good chance there's yellow coming out, but you got to play it to the whistle because he's the guy. If you don't play to the whistle, he'll juke you on the sideline and continue going up the field for 15 yards, or he's just going to extend the play and create wreak havoc. So defensive line, the front seven, I'll include the linebackers on this. Don't let Mahomes get those third down conversions or those second and long conversions. Keep him in the pocket and make him have to throw the ball. Plus, guard that tight end. Andrews unlikely burnt us last week. I know Andrews had a couple turnovers and drops, but they were wide open. Kelsey had a day last week. Keep your eye on him.
He always seems to. I say it every time we're playing him or any other team plays him. Just knock that guy out of this whole equation. Like, why is he ever wide open? He should never ever be wide open, and he always seems to be. And I think a lot of that goes back to Mahomes extending plays, pressure not getting there, and Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback. I'm not saying that he's not, but there's no reason that dude should be wide open as often as he's wide open. Before we get to what I think about what our defense needs to do today, the inactives have come out. And I want to read this list, get the reaction of the panel, get the reaction of you guys in the comments. All 1,415 of you guys. Thank you so much again. Inactives for today's game for the Buffalo Bills. Mike White, the third quarterback, inactive. Brandon Codrington is not active today, which is that's a little weird, but I'll say this, man. As much as I don't want Shakir out there, he did a fantastic job when he was covering. So I'm good. Him, Ty Johnson, Ray Davis. I think we're good there. Quentin Jefferson is inactive. Ryan Vandermark is inactive. Dwayne Carter is inactive. Taylor Rapp, which we knew, and Cedric Van Pran Granger. What name didn't I call on that list, gentlemen?
Christian Benford.
Christian Benford is active today and playing your number 1 or 2, however you want to look at it and rank them, corner spot today. So that was a big question mark. RT, I'll throw her down to you, buddy. What do you think about this year list?
Man, the only guy, obviously I was waiting to hear Christian Benford. I was hoping that you didn't say Christian Benford. Yeah. I'm happy you didn't. So that's good. But I definitely really got to show or throw, I should say, a shout out to Dwayne Carter and the season that he has had. He's been a big, a juice plug for us on the D line. But Jordan Phillips played really well last week. Ed Oliver played really well last week, forced Lamar to make some decisions, forced Lamar to be uncomfortable, which forced turnovers and mistakes. So I'm looking for somebody to step up always. That's been the theme in and of itself, even prior to this season, even beginning for the Buffalo Bills is next man up. Stephon Diggs gets traded. Who's going to step up? Maybe the makeup of the offense is different. Maybe the makeup of the defense is different without a guy like Dwayne Carter. But a lot of people forget that this trade down with the Chiefs got them Keon Coleman and an extra pick that got them Dwayne Carter, that they used that pick for Dwayne Carter. So, Brandon Beane playing chess, not checkers, on draft night. And, obviously I'd love to see Dwayne Carter out there, but I think we'll be okay.
I agree, man. I think Jordan Phillips has been playing his best ball. I've said that probably for the last couple of weeks here between the two shows that we run here over on 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. I roll with the hot hand. Carter has been playing fantastic. He was banged up halfway through the season there. But I think Big Phil is going to be the guy that you want out there for the troops and also for his level of play right now. It's insane. So
that's a great comment by Alan. That was his last. That was Joe Montana's last game, and Bruce put him to the turf quite a lot that day. So it was a rough outing for Joe Montana that day.
Our old guy Bruce, he ended a lot of quarterbacks' careers.
Yeah,
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think about this list, brother?
I guess the surprise would be the defensive tackle, Jefferson. He played last week, so that means Bills are inactive 2 defensive tackles, which means they're probably only playing with 4, which means they're probably bringing an extra defensive end. I'm guessing it's Solomon. He's been on that active list for a while now, which tells me that they are looking to rotate the edges and keep those guys healthy. So maintaining Mahomes, I think, is a priority. Bumping the tight end as he tries to get by him and hitting the running backs as they cross their face. So they're playing a perimeter game from what I'm seeing. Look for a lot more blitzes. I'm seeing a lot of blitzes now when I see this list. So hopefully they can create pressure on Mahomes, and the rest will be history. Defense shows up to help Josh Allen win an AFC Championship football game.
I love it. My sentiments exactly. I think that they're coming hard and hot and heavy. Take that however you want for Mr. Kermit over there. And I don't know, man. You can't say enough good, I don't think, about this defense and the way they have played in the playoffs this year. Starting with the Denver Broncos, and then last week's performance against arguably the hottest, best team, definitely in the AFC, maybe in the NFL, and really handling them in the first half and, creating turnovers. You can say whatever you want to say about how they happened, if they were dropped or if they were whatever. I love that the Lamar narrative is kind of cooled off and now we're on to Kansas City, but he dropped that ball because that snap was high. He had it under control, but DeMar Hamlin was in his face. Like he had to make those moves. It was cold. It slipped out of his hand. I don't, to me, it's like, well, it's just a drop. It dropped or whatever. It's like, well, if Josh Allen dropped that ball, then we'd be having a completely different conversation right now than what it is with whoever it is. So
Josh and his turnovers.
There's so many stories, Swank, within that play that make that play so special. DeMar Hamlin being right in his face, as you mentioned, but 35-year-old Von Miller mad dashing down the center of the field, trying to eye to eye,
baby. Row 8, he was running right to me.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's like go to the end zone, go get that third ring with your third different team. Man, that was a great play, and it definitely showed after the game the level of leadership or lack thereof, I might say, from Lamar Jackson, throwing Mark Andrews under the bus completely, not putting any blame on himself. So ESPN will just sweep that one under the rug, but us here at 24/7 Buffalo, Thomas Take, we'll call it like it is.
We heard it.
Yep.
So anyway, other than that, I'm fine with this list. I wish Rap was active. But I'll say this, man, I wanted to bring this up because give my quick defensive take. The adjustments that they have been making, what they've been doing, and what they've been able to do all season is working great. We had a very good record. We're the second seed in the NFL. And you are starting to see different looks. That is part of why I think in the playoffs they are performing so well on defense, is that they are playing a little more man. They are adding a third linebacker. They are not afraid to change and are still executing with different personnel on the field. And what do? None of that tape is relevant from the regular season now. Like, okay, they do this good. We know they do this good, but now they do all this other stuff. The stuff that they didn't do well, we thought now they have answers. So, what do? I did want to bring this up. I tweeted it out earlier this week. Sal Capaccio, he's the man. Always after every game, He brings out the snap count for every single player, offense and defense. Did you guys know that Taylor Rapp was out against the Detroit Lions?
I did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We won that game.
Right. Yeah.
They are arguably a way more high-powered offense than the Kansas City Chiefs. You got Cam Lewis, who played 79 snaps, 100%.
Yep.
We're all talking about Cole Bishop. Cole got his fair share. He did, let's see, it's kind of small, 47 snaps, right around 50, 55%. I think you're going to get a healthy dose of those guys, but people forget about Cam Lewis. Everybody's talking about Cole Bishop, and I believe in Cole Bishop. I said that earlier this week too, but I think everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine back there. But you can bet when Cole's on that field, old Patty boy is going to try and target him. So just got to play our game, mind our P's and Q's, make him uncomfortable, man. Get him off the field on third down, make him uncomfortable. Who knows what we're going to do with these calls? This is a big thing that's circling around the NFL right now. I actually think that the refs are calling less penalties in the playoffs. I was not very upset about the way the Bills game got called last week. There was a couple calls. I actually thought Eddie should have got called for that out of bounds hit on Lamar. Also, there was a face mask on Ray Davis that should have been called on our side. But if you're going to balance it out like that, I'm okay.
That holding call on Deion Dawkins or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, that was bullshit. Complete
bullshit. The worst thing that might be one of the worst penalties I have ever seen in my 30 years of watching this game. I'm at a loss for words even thinking about it. But to your point, Swank, with Cam Lewis and Cole Bishop, just to sidebar piggyback off of it, we talked about it actually, all three of us during the season, that you do have to be willing to adjust. Each matchup is different, obviously. And defensively, it gives the opportunity for guys to play that it's not like they haven't been given the opportunity before. Cam Lewis has stepped up for this team several times over the years. He's been a part of this defense, and they've kept him around for a reason. So yeah, I think he's been great. When Poyer and Hyde were banged up, he'd step in and he'd do really well. So I'm really excited just to see those guys actually get opportunity, and I think they're ready for it.
100%, man. 100%. They've built this roster and kept the guys that they need to keep and realize where they are. I think finally the depth and the overall health of this roster is exactly where we wanted it to be all along. Like, again, minus Rapp, I do think they have the guys there to fill his shoes, and that should not be a factor in why we would ever have a shot of losing this game.
Julian Edelman said it in this game that's going on right now. He was talking about the Bills. Obviously, they're talking about this next game coming up, and he did mention the reason they brought in Milano was to cover Kelsey. The reason the Bills have made the changes they have and drafted people they have is to cover the plays that the Kansas City Chiefs run, and now it's the stage is set for just
Here we are. Yeah. Real quick update while you guys are watching live. 1,600 of you. Again, we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Super proud to be, and sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go over to 26shirts.com and see what they got going on. Give them all their money. They do great things with it. Eagles 34, Commanders 23. Commanders trying to come back a little bit with 5 minutes left. Oh, no, it's only in 5 minutes in the third quarter.
Right.
We
got some
tons of time left.
Jaden Daniels can make it rain with 5 minutes left in a game.
Yeah.
5 minutes and a quarter. We still got a shot in Washington.
Assuming that the two of you boys, before we move on to what we need to do offensively to win this game here and all of our score predictions and all that stuff, and please keep the comments coming. You guys are killing it right now. I'm trying to put everything up I can, trying to hit every little thing that I can, but it's so much. But keep it coming. I love it.
Good turnout from Instagram, just so you know.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yep.
Who would you guys rather face, knock on wood, if the next game were to go our way here for an appearance? Is the Commanders a more favorable matchup for you guys, or the Eagles, or is there something that you would like to see above the other for any specific reason? It could be strategic, or just because you're like, I kind of like this team a little bit better. It'd be a good match, whatever. What you got, RT?
just beat the Chiefs and get me.
What? Well, hey.
I mean, that was our baseline all along, dude.
Yes,
This is just talking.
No. I trust me. There's a team I'd rather play. It's Washington. Philly's really good. Saquon's having a hell of a year, and Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback. I think he's pretty underrated, but I would rather play Washington. I think a rematch of the Super Bowl the year I was born would be pretty awesome. Dating myself there, but I do think that Washington's a great team too. The fact they got past Detroit just proves that. Detroit was I thought Detroit was going to cruise to the Super Bowl outside of maybe Philly. So now Washington, if they get past Philly, obviously they belong there. But man, I want to see the Bills more so beat the Chiefs and make the Super Bowl and just get this playoff monkey, proverbial monkey off their backs, just like Steve Young did when he finally won a Super Bowl with the Niners as their starter. He's take the monkey off my back. That's what Josh Allen is probably going to do after this game with a decisive victory. So getting back to the Super Bowl, you guys mentioned it from the top. You guys, a couple years older than me, I was a really little kid. I barely remember. I remember the last Super Bowl, they had a lead at the half. That's about it. That's as far back as my memory goes. But we've endured a lot. We've all endured a lot as Bills fans. It would be just so poetic that this is the season that they make it back to the Super Bowl for so many reasons. And tonight's the night that they can make that happen.
It's really crazy that we're an hour away from kickoff right now. And in 5 to 6 hours, we could be very, very, very happy or very, very, very sheltered and sad. I'm going happy with it.
I'm going happy too.
Because we were supposed to be third in the division, remember, guys?
Yeah.
Remember those Jets? They were supposed to win the division.
Lou RQ was asking earlier who the Ravens are playing this weekend.
Yeah, right.
I didn't see him on the schedule.
Scott, who would you rather? Just answer your question real quick. I'll make it quick and easy. We played against mobile quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson just last week. We handled him well. I'd rather see the Commanders because guess what? The Commanders don't have a running attack. So I think we could focus more on that Commanders offense. And I'm watching this offensive line not block very well against this Eagles defense. So you got to be the best to beat the best, but the Commanders would be nice. I'd like to start chipping away at the teams that have our number in the Super Bowl.
I like it.
Well, I don't see the Cowboys making it very time.
We won't have to worry about that with Dallas or the Giants. I think that's safe to say. Yeah. But I love that take though.
I saw an interesting. You guys were pulling up interesting facts. I got an interesting fact for you. All right, there's only one team that in the 2000s has not reached a championship game. Do you know what team that is?
The Jets.
Browns.
NFC East.
Oh.
Cowboys.
Yeah, that would make sense. No, the Jets with Rex. What am I thinking? Yeah, that's right. They went to 2 with Rex.
Yeah, I saw it was like one of there's this guy
Sanchez that took him there. Yeah, Rex had nothing to do with it. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, he was tattooed on this coach's arm, buddy. You got to have that confidence. That's what really pushed him over. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. You guys are killing it. Again, thank you so much. I see you out there, Mary Jane Brown Hughes, Lisa Johns, of course. We got Zach the Monkey. That's Berto's kid. What's up, buddy? We got Nate Nacho, the best handle in social media. You guys are killing it, man. Please keep it coming. 1661. Awesome. Offensively, what do you want to see Josh Allen and the boys do? Scott, I'm going to throw it right back at you. What are you looking at for this offense?
I want Joe Brady to be in Josh Allen's ear. Congratulations, guys. I think we have Joe Brady for another year. He did say he wasn't interviewing with the Saints. Does that mean he's not interviewing anymore?
Yeah, I think he's done. He's staying right here.
He's here to stay.
I think he got sick of the distractions. He's trying to win a Super Bowl.
Focus.
You want me after? Fine. If not,
bringing back the Brady bunch in 2025. Let's go.
It's not just Josh. It's the whole offense, guys. I said it on the K-Gun Report. Stay ahead of the chains. The Buffalo Bills won by 9. By converting a shitload of 3rd and longs. I want to see 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. The playbook opens wide open there. Stay ahead of the chains. We can do that against this defense. We've done it before. Let's just continue moving the ball forward, no losses. And let's remember, guys, James Cook only had like 2 yards of carry last time he faced these guys. So offensive line, push forward, stay ahead of the chains, and we'll be okay offensively.
I like it. It's sweet and to the point.
Mhm.
Cut like a knife. I love it. RT, what do you got, man? What do you think? What's our offense got to do?
Well, I tell you, as the league has evolved, offenses that we've played against have done a very good job of this. We do a very good job of it. I think the NFL has kind of turned into the NBA a little bit with some of these routes that some of these wide receivers run, with some of the schemes and sets where Buffalo's got 4 guys lined up on one side, 1 wide receiver lined up on the right. Jumbo, obviously is what they call it. And honestly, KC does this really well, as does Buffalo, in terms of setting up kind of pick blocks in the middle of the field. And KC's got a really good middle linebacker that does a very good job at preventing that from happening. But I think Buffalo has the best array of weaponry that they've had in this Josh Allen era. So for me, offensively, kind of schematically, I'm hoping that Buffalo can force, some pick blocks, force some crossing routes, use Shakir over the middle, working against Cooper, maybe on the other side to free up Cooper or Shakir, and kind of get to that second level of the defense to kind of, cause some raindrop passes, if you will, from Josh Allen over the shoulder of a Nick Bolton. I'm not worried about the safeties of the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. If you try to beat the Kansas City Chiefs outside, I think you're playing into their hands. Work the middle of the field. Avoid one-on-one matchups with Trent McDuffie. Avoid, jump passes that could lead to a turnover. Work the middle of the field. You got the weaponry to do it. Josh Allen, he knows that. He's done that this season. That's why you don't have a consensus 1,000-yard receiver. You got a lot of other guys, with 7, 8, 5, 600 yards. That's just fine. That's just fine. It's a recipe for success for this offense and a recipe for disaster, I think, for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the one way the teams have been able to stay toe-to-toe with the Chiefs in so many games this year. Let's not forget they've won a lot of games. 16-1, obviously, or 17-1, whatever you want to, 16-1, however you want to look at it. Yeah. But a lot of one-score games, and that is why the Chiefs are susceptible over the middle of the field if game plan for the right way and attack the right way by the right quarterback. Is Justin Herbert Josh Allen? Is Aiden O'Connell Josh Allen? Is Bo Nix Josh Allen? No, and those are the guys that this Chiefs defense plays twice a year. To put it in perspective, I think the Chiefs defense is good, not great, and that's where Buffalo could really take advantage of them on this night.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. To your point, a little bit, like I feel like Spags is a great defensive coordinator.
Great.
Not taking anything away from him.
Right.
He will blitz you on third down in critical situations every time.
Right.
Every single time. And if you have a series like you had last week against the Ravens, where they came out and it looked a little discombobulated and maybe people didn't realize what was going on, maybe the check wasn't right. Well, there was like that one drive I remember, center field in the second half last week against the Ravens, where they just did not look like they were in control and didn't end up, it didn't hurt them, but that's the kind of thing you can't have today. You got to know where these guys are. You got to be sure what your checks are. You got to have something dialed up, because I'm telling you, third and anything +5, he's coming at you. Midfield, their side of the field, whichever. You got to have a screen. You got to have a plan for that to check to, at least, if your first option isn't going to be there. And the Bills are very good, I think, about making adjustments and knowing this about their opponents and doing it. But it is one of them things where I will lose my mind if they come all out blitz. Josh Allen either throws it away or gets sacked. Yeah.
Spread everybody out. They have the guys to do it. They have the matchups to do it. And to Scooter's point, the line of scrimmage so important when the only consensus all-pro on this team the last 3 years is not Pat Mahomes, it's Chris Jones.
Yeah.
So that's a huge feather in their cap, and I'm sure we'll talk more about him.
Absolutely. For me, offensively, control the clock. and take care of the ball. They've been doing both of those things very well. The run game obviously is part of that. I do think you're going to see the Bills pass a little bit more today than you have in the last couple of weeks. I think last week's game plan was to just run it as hard as you could right down their throat. And a lot of people, for some reason, took something away from Josh Allen's game because of that. I think he just executed the way they wanted to call the game, and it was great.
Sometimes you got to be a game manager.
Yeah, and he doesn't. This is what's different. I don't think he's ever needed it, but he's mature enough to know that is the plan. That is what we're doing. This is how we're going to win, and they won. Trust the process. All that.
They're an AFC Championship game.
Yeah, exactly. So
no more hero ball, right?
No more hero ball.
Do what's best for the team.
Absolutely necessary now.
No.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of runs. I think Ty Johnson has a significant game today. That third down running back seems to be more than that. I also think that you're going to see, I think you're going to see Shakir and Kincaid, maybe a little Knox in there. And I would love to see a deep shot to either Cooper or Keon Coleman. I would just absolutely love to see it. I would love to see it right off.
Reading my notes, Swank. You're reading.
Am I, dude? There's just I would just love to all around. We play our offense the way we want. Destroy them. That's what I want. I just want it all the way. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It is 5:40. We are definitely going over on this here edition of Sunday Sessions, but it's championship weekend, baby. We gotta do it.
When you put 5 to 5:30, I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Hell no. Not with 17-20 watching right now. You know, we gotta keep it going, keep people hyped. Guys, do a little score prediction here, but first we got this crazy crew of guys that started this whole SpaghettiOs movement, and we've been doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And we actually got a little fundraiser that we're gonna probably unveil in the preseason, off season coming up after this year's over, headed up by our boys Patrick Hughes and Corey Blaine. The deal, if you don't know, is been eating SpaghettiOs. It was a joke in the comments. These dudes pound SpaghettiOs. We want a win streak. Gotta do it. Now it's a thing. Gotta do it every single week. And I told them, you send the videos, I'm gonna post them. So without further ado, we have an exclusive debut of our boy Adam doing his first SpaghettiO video right here on the Sunday Sessions.
You didn't hear me before. I'll do it again. Love you guys. Let's go fucking Bills. Here we go. Go Bills.
Love it.
There it is.
Hey, shout out. He's got a Sabres flag and he's got a Red Sox flag in the yard. Hey,
there you go.
Hey,
dude's for real.
Hey, look at that. Look at that.
Appreciate it, man. Also, I don't screen these before I post them, so they are what they are, and that's why I love to do it. Here's our boy Patrick Hughes with his video of the week.
Bills Mafia, are you ready? No, I said, are you ready? Then, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, FLX Mafia proudly brings to you its weekly Embrace the O's. And if you're not down with that, I've got 4 words for you. Power the O's. Bills Mafia, mount up, let's go.
Hell yeah, Patrick.
And millions and millions
in attendance.
All right, we got one more.
WWE flair and flavor. I like
it. Yeah,
that's
dude.
good.
Hell yeah. That's a wrestling champ, man. That dude, He's got all the references. Here we go with our boy Corey. He gave me a little I don't know, note with this one, like, you can watch it and you can edit it and I don't know, like blah blah blah. And I was like, man, you know what? I think I'm I'm just gonna put it up here. This dude's raw. He's a good friend. I love him to death. And
Viewer discretion is advised.
hey,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what could happen here. I know
Who knows?
there's probably not any nudity.
Fire it up.
So that'll be good. All right, here we go.
The truth is, this is likely the worst season they all had in the last 5 years.
It's finally the Miami Dolphins' time. They win the division for the first time since, like 08 or something. The Jets are second. They're just more talented than the Bills.
Everybody's gone. You don't have enough talent to compete. The game of football is about talent.
The New York Jets, their roster on paper is ass.
We just don't know how great of a performance Josh Allen is going to put on with this young, talented, or not talented group of guys that we don't know.
I don't believe in Miami. I would pick the Jets to win the AFC East this year. I really would.
You know how I feel about the Dolphins. I think it is their time.
Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. Point blank, period.
Wow.
And where are they all now? The couch, the Jets, the couch, the Dolphins, the couch. Ha! We've been getting doubted all year. I didn't know what I was going to do for this video. Fireworks, flaming tables, something. I said, just like this game, you know what? We just got to get it done. This will not be the new Four Falls of Buffalo. This is not the same Bills. This is not the same Chiefs. If we're going to hit Patrick Mahomes tonight, the refs are going to call the flags anyways. Hit that sumbitch so goddamn hard, he can't get back up. Hey, I'm sorry, little kids, whoever's watching this, I'm going to try my best to control my emotions. Well, not my emotions, but my mouth. Because I couldn't sleep last night. I can't. You think I'm on the team. It's like Allen getting sick, throwing up. The anxiety is so high. This is not going to be one of those games. This will not be the new Four Falls of Buffalo. The defense will be shit hot. I don't care if they're young guys in the backfield, second, third, fourth string. We got to pull people out the crowd because that's how hyped this Bills team is. The fans, the team is a family of one. It don't matter who's on the field, first, second, third, fourth string. The coaches could play. We could put the towel boy out there. This team, after tonight, will be in the Super Bowl. And then we will come after we beat Kermit the Frog's ass tonight. We'll go for the Redskins, beat Miss Piggy's fat ass in the Super Bowl, and finally get our ring. Bills win. X Factor's Josh the Alien. Allen, I can't even speak. I'm so mad. Woo! Let's go, Bills!
Wow. You know, I talk a lot of shit. And I try to poke the Corey Bear, man. I try to push him up over the mountain. I was telling him, dude, you got to fill a kiddie pool full of SpaghettiOs and jump in it. This kid's jumped off railings into tables. Him and his kid have slammed SpaghettiOs. He's done the Stone Cold. So the kid has done everything you can do with a SpaghettiO. And right there, whoa.
Well,
he's got me ready to run through a wall.
hell
man.
yeah.
Nice
Hell
going,
yeah.
Corey.
Patrick, Adam, and Corey, I took my couple bites. Cheers to you guys, and cheers to the rest of the Bills Mafia.
Hell yeah. Corey getting some love in the comments. All right, boys, let's go. It's 5:47. We know we all got stuff to get to. I got about half a beer. So we got to get through this before that's over. Let's do some score predictions. And you know what? You want to throw an X Factor in there? Let's throw an X Factor in there. Scott, you know what, man? Let's start with you up top, brother. You got them swallowed? You good?
Well, I'm good to go. I'll tell you what, my X Factor right now is I'm watching this other game. Turnovers and dumb penalties. Take care of that stuff, Buffalo, where we're going in there disciplined. We've been disciplined. We have that chip on our shoulder like we have all year. But it seems like they're able to control it. But my X Factor, guys, is definitely going to be the rookies, Keon Coleman and Bishop. Keon Coleman's going to come up big against these all-star corners that the Chiefs had, and Bishop is going to show us why the Buffalo Bills drafted him so high. He's going to take Rapp's position. He's not going to get beat deep, and you're going to see him put a helmet on Pacheco a couple times. Bishop's going to be a big difference maker on this defense. My score prediction, power of the O's, 35-20. Go Bills.
Ooh, I like it. I like it very much. RT. Your second to last score prediction of the season, my friend.
Second to last. We got next week, guys. I'm going to go X Factor first. Anything you can do, KC, we can do better. Travis Kelce. You got Travis Kelce. Do we like Travis Kelce? Yeah, sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't. You know, the Taylor Swift stuff gets a little annoying after a while, but that's more on the NFL. It's not necessarily Kelce's fault. I will say that. But what I'm referring to is they got one tight end, Noah Gray. Is he a Dalton Kincaid? Is he a Dawson Knox? No, he is not. We got two tight ends. My X factor is Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. To my point about the offense and how they need to attack, work the middle of the field. Also, clock management situations. Dawson Knox has come up huge, and Dalton Kincaid has come up huge as well on the sideline. So both of those guys getting it done, 6 catches each, maybe a touchdown each. And people come out of this game saying, is tight end university in Orchard Park, New York? Or is it in KC? They'll know the answer to that question once this game is over. Score prediction, it's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be a battle for the ages. It's Ali versus Frazier. It's Tyson versus Holyfield. It is, I would say, the greatest quarterback rivalry that the game has to offer. Manning-Brady-esque. 35-31. Buffalo with the victory. So that's what I'm going with. I was having some dreams and visions of Tyler Bass being carried off the field holding a kitten because he's a cat guy, but that didn't really appease after a while. I'm like,
make it work, RT. Put it in AI creator.
Yeah, make it happen. He's a cat guy, which I greatly appreciate. I'd love to see him drill one through the uprights, but I don't want this game to come down to that. So I'm going to say 35-31. Buffalo gets it done. Josh Allen and new QB1 of the NFL. Move over Pat Mahomes, move over Lamar Jackson. He took care of both of them and company, and he should get that NFL MVP. We'll find out on that.
Yep. I love it.
Love
it. Great takes. Great score. Great everything, man. Real quick over here, I'm looking on X out of the side of my eye, and Tyreek Hill tweeted something out. He says, "Go crazy 17."
That'll never happen. But
what? Game recognizes game. We will say that.
Trying to put a word in. Hey guys, I want out of Miami.
Yeah, either it's that, which I don't want his ass. I really don't want him.
I don't either.
He's bad in the locker. We already had. Well, anyway, that's like a little. Yeah, isn't that a little? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, dude. He's going up against like assuming that he's talking about Josh here.
Yep.
Like, going up against your.
He's thrown shots at Mahomes before. Remember, he said Tua throws him the best ball,
most accurate quarterback he's ever played with. Yeah,
he's thrown some shots at Mahomes.
That's true.
Before, but yeah, that's wild. Hey, you know, he can be a fan for a night.
Sure.
Next season, if he's in Miami, he's gonna get beat again. So he knows that.
I love it, guys. Oh God, this game. X factor for me. There's so much to choose from. It's so exciting. It's so much fun, man, to be where we are. I gotta go with the linebackers, man. I want them to shut down this run game enough to make them one-dimensional. I want to see pressure on Mahomes, all that. But if you can cut out that scumbag Kareem Hunt and limit Pacheco a little bit, man, I think it's going to be a fun night. I think that you could get through it. I think that with my score prediction, which is the same as Scott's, we've already determined that, and I'm sticking to it, man. We both picked it on the K gun, 35-20, power of the O's. I think that last 7 points comes in garbage time, baby. I think it's a desperate cry, and I think you absolutely see who is the king of the AFC after this game is over. The calm, cool collective will prevail. And that's where I'm at with it. Lou RQ says Tyreek Hill straight to jail.
He's a magnet. He's a magnet to those bars.
Lou RQ Hunt straight to jail. I love it, dude. I love it. God, man, here we are. We are 36 minutes away from kickoff. You boys, I've had such a great time with you this season. I know we got another show to do after this for sure.
Hell yeah.
But let's get with these final thoughts here. And RT, we'll start with you, brother. Let the people know how you feel and where to find you.
Final thoughts. We've talked a lot about matchups, X's and O's, storylines. I don't think there's a storyline bigger than Protege versus Master, if you want to look at it that way. Andy Reid versus Sean McDermott. These guys spent a lot of time together in Philly. They've gone against each other a lot over the years. Sean McDermott has a point to prove, as every wrestler does. They always have that chip on their shoulder. It's always there, even after, it could be 20, 30, 40 years after you're off the mat. You always have that chip on your shoulder. Sean McDermott's defining moment is tonight. This is a defining moment in his career. The William and Mary alum. Shout out to Marv Levy as well, who has been a fixture this season off the field and on the field, rallying the troops as he did back in the day. 99 years young. Sean McDermott can join Marv Levy as the next coach to help lead the Bills to another Super Bowl berth. That is not lost on him, not lost on us. And it's a matchup for the ages. As I mentioned from the top, Sean McDermott has to get it done tonight, as well as the 53-man roster that is the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I love it. Love you, RT. Nicely
I
done.
love you guys too. I got a little bit of goosebumps after that one. A little bit of chills. Let's go.
You're supposed to rile us up. You got yourself riled up.
Yeah. I got
kind of goes with that text he sent us earlier. Scooter Magoo, my brother. You and I have been doing this a long time together, my man. And I can't think of anybody else, you and your brother, that I would love to do this with. And I'm so stoked that we get to experience this together and talk about it together with our friends like RT and everybody in the comments, man. So I love you.
Love you
and
too,
hit us with your final thought.
My final thought is I mentioned on the K-Gun Report, I'm sticking to it. It's time for the NFL to make things right. Obviously, we know with the reffing crew, the officiating crew they brought in is not very favorable for home teams or Patrick Mahomes. It's not the fact that they're trying to give us the advantage. I think the NFL is trying to make these games right, which they should. Final thought, refs, everybody in the booth, the players, make this game a game to remember. This is the game of the year, guys. And I don't want it skewed by any controversial calls. If you're going to call something for 3 quarters, make sure it's the same in the 4th. That's all we ask as Bills fans. We don't tend to lean towards we're favored and other teams are not. We'll take it as it is because that's the way the NFL is. But I want everybody to know this week that the Bills rightfully destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs and made their way to the Super Bowl to be the next Super Bowl champion in this NFL, this whole thing we call the National Football League. Get it right on all ends of it. Refs call a good game and fans enjoy it because this is an AFC Championship game. We were not supposed to be here, and here we are. Go Bills.
I got to piggyback off of that, Swank. I have to. I'm sorry. I got it. But if to Scooter's point, if the refs call this game in such a way that impacts the result no matter what, they will take it to their graves. And that's literally, this game means so much to not only the Bills and the Chiefs, but for the NFL, for the legacy factor. This is history. We're living in it. This game is going to be a part of history one way or another, no matter how it goes. These refs cannot dilute the history of the game any more than they already have, any more than they've already allowed this game to be diluted over the years with the Patriots and the Cheatriots or the Spygate and all that stuff over the years. Let's call a spade here. This is the 2 best quarterbacks in the game, bar none. It's not close. We can debate which one's better. We know which one's better out of the 2. And let these guys play. Let the players play. Let this game play itself out to be in an epic battle, just like it was 4 years ago in the divisional round.
Leave it to the 106 there on the field.
I like it. I'd like to add a little caveat to that where that doesn't mean to me that when a guy is obviously lined up off sides and you let a play out and Travis tries to pitch it back to him and then they cry about not getting a touchdown because it's hurting the game and what a bullshit call, even though it was blatantly a call.
Right.
Then that is not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is this ticky-tacky bullshit where the game is on the line and it's a 50-50 call either way. If you're handsy down the field and you're not calling it on A or B, you don't call it on A or B the whole game. That's all we ask. I'm not wanting these Patrick Mahomes bombs from the 40 down on the goal line and then trying to catch Douglas with a pass interference and lining them up on the 1. Like these are the kind of calls that ruin games. Let the teams play. And I will say, as far as I've seen through this playoffs, and I've been as critical about the refs as anybody else, while still placing all the responsibility on our Buffalo Bills and having to play a clean game themselves, they have called to my liking so far. I think with all this national media, isn't it weird that like all of us in Buffalo have seen all of this for years and years with the Chiefs, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, "Whoa, I get all the calls. Oh, look at these stats. Holy Jesus, look at this." Like we've been saying it.
Preach. Yeah.
Saying it for
They
years.
did this in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The greatest prize, the greatest trophy, the greatest league, the greatest game. You cannot let come down to a ticky-tack, as you said, pass interference or not call. It has happened so many times over the years. It's just it ruins the game.
Yes. All right, for me, boys. Again, thank you so much. Seen a lot. 1878 tuning in right now. That's crazy. Appreciate all you guys. Hopefully, let's try to hit 1900. Tag your granny and your boyfriend and your cousin and whoever else, and let's get up over 1900 before the end of the show here. I say it every single week, man. Enjoy this time. There was a very big block of time where it was fun to be a Bills fan because you were in a fraternity, but it wasn't fun necessarily every single week to watch this team. This team had a way of ripping your heart out or building you up every single week. I still think it's like that, and I think like true diehard Bills fans know that feeling that it can literally affect your mood for the whole week, the whole month, the whole off season, however you want to look at it. It can really affect you. So to live in an era now where we got somebody like Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, we got this team of misfit toys that wasn't supposed to be anything, that has literally gotten to the doorstep of the Super Bowl right now, one game away from being in the Super Bowl again. It is special. It's special no matter how it turns out. So enjoy all of this. Enjoy every single step. Drink your beers, eat your food, high five your buddies, text them, all that. And tune into this show right here, which you can catch every game day, an hour and a half before kickoff, just like you caught it today. And you're going to catch it 2 weeks from now, same time. We love it, man. We love doing this, and you guys are killers, and thank you so much. Also, shout out to Matt Collins for trolling Patrick Mahomes with his
monster.
The animal.
Great.
Animal, yeah, that's what it is.
Dressed up as animal to troll Kermit the Frog, and he
just need Oscar the Grouch. That's all we need. Which is
we're
probably
talking
be
about
the
Miss
refs.
Pig. Corey was saying something about Miss Piggy. We got them all. It'll be great. 1901 right there. You guys are killers, man. Love you so much. Enjoy the game. Go Bills.
Go Bills, guys.
Go Bills. Mafia, mount up.
Go